What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house, an archetype that I was truly excited for when it originally came out, and I tried to play through the ages, was Noble Knights. And I think, like a lot of you guys, I got let down when Konami's really tried to make this archetype good. I haven't read any of these, I'm excited to, but I just want to say, I had this built in person, I tried it out a lot, I got my ass handed to me, and I think a lot of people had a similar experience. And then the Noble Knight box comes out, you get Merlin and all this other stuff, and more recently, Glory of the Noble Knights, an actually amazing quick play spell, something that they kind of needed, which allows you to equip any equip spell from the deck to a Noble Knight. That was a good piece of support, and I'm hoping this is similarly good. But before we get into the video and reading this, eBay today is 15% off. I'm not doing a market watch today. Code PRIMO SALE until 11 p.m. Pacific tonight. That's like 1 o'clock Central in the morning. So all day today, it's a maximum of $100 off orders, and you only have to spend $25. So that's pretty easy to get to when spending on Yu-Gi-Oh cards. It doesn't exclude tech today though, so no laptops, no cell phones, that kind of stuff. So do be aware of that. But the 15% off, that's pretty big. There was a tech one yesterday, probably why they didn't include it. But now to what you guys came here for specifically, although I'm always going to try to save you guys some money. The Noble Knights. Alright, I'm excited. We got Noble Knight Kustanin, level 4, light warrior effect monster, attack 1,000, but a big booty at 2,000. If you control a Noble Arms equipped spell, of course face up, you can special summon this card from your hand. Alright, that's a pretty easy requirement. You can only special summon Noble Knight Kustanin once per turn this way. A Noble Knight monster that was Synchro, Xyz, or Link summoned using this card on the field as a material gains an effect. Ooh. Including Link summoned. If this card is special summoned, you can normal summon one Noble Knight monster during your main phase this turn in addition to your normal summon or set. Huh. That's pretty cool. You can only gain this effect once per turn though, so you know, you can't stack it with Goblin or that kind of stuff. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except for Noble Knight monsters. So basically, no matter what tree you're climbing with this card, you gain the ability to have an additional normal summon. That's pretty cool. This is our Dante-looking fellow, I presume. So let's go ahead and look into the Xyz. And my opinion of that card, it's good that you can climb a ladder with him, and it does special more monsters to the field, something they had a little bit of trouble, but not too much trouble with. So Sacred Noble Knight of King Kustanin, rank 4, light Xyz, warrior monster, attack 1,500, defense 2,500, again low attack, 2+ level 4 Noble Knight monster, so you can stack more than 2. You can detach any number of materials from this card, then target that many cards your opponent controls. Return them to the hand. This would have been nice as either player's turn effect, I feel like. You can detach, so it's not. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one Noble Knight Xyz monster from your extra deck, except Sacred Noble Knight of King Kustanin. And if you do, attach to this card from the graveyard as a material. This is treated as an Xyz summon as well. You can only use this effect, each effect of Sacred Noble Knight of King Kustanin once per turn. I don't like that its second effect relies on the opponent. Of course, it's always nice to float. Floating cards are good in the game, but this doesn't help Noble Knights with the problem they had at all. You're detaching materials. It's not like playing during your opponent's turn. I don't think Noble Knights really had to worry too much of dealing with your opponent's cards. At least it's back row or monsters, but dang. I'm definitely left wanting more out of these first two cards. It's feeling like the same Noble Knight problem all over again. It's like, can we fix Noble Knights? Well, here's some new ones. Did this do anything? So far. Alright, we have a level 4 1900. We're getting to good stats here. Level 4 Light Warrior Effect Monster, 1900/500. You can target one Noble Arms equipped spell equipped to this card and one face-up monster your opponent controls. Destroy them, then draw a card. Also, this card can't attack for the rest of this turn. You can only use this effect once per turn. That's okay. At this point, it should have been any card. Golly, it should have been any card. One face-up monster, specifically. I mean, you're going to be able to typically do that if your opponent's set up, but you should have been able to pop back row with this. Oh, man. My heart is sinking fast. We got an equipped spell left and new Noble Arms. That's the last hope out of all of these for me. I am so deflated so fast. I was so excited. I thought they were bringing them to the new age, and instead they're continuing the problems they've always had. Oh. Noble Arms Clarent. Equip spell card. Equip only to a warrior monster, so lock to warriors, but not just noble knights. You can only control one Noble Arms Clarent. Once per turn, you can pay 500 life points. The equipped monster can attack directly this turn. Alright, damage output. If this face-up card on the field is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can target one Noble Knight Warrior monster you control. Equip this card to the target. You can only use this effect once per turn. The best I see with this is like the fact that you can equip other equips from deck with the quick play Noble Knight card, Glory, and you can make it beefy, then attack direct. New win con. Alright, let's kind of digest this. Noble Knights have been a deck on the cusp. What they needed is something that generated field play and presence. And I feel like they really tried to do that with the Xyz. But the fact that it can't play through your opponent's turn, that it only supports itself on summon, more and more almost this feels like a going second deck, which other decks with setup negates inherently are what hurt Noble Knights. Like, this new one requires a Noble Arms card on the field to special summon, so you have to control Noble Arms equip spell. So if your opponent stops your normal summon, we're in the same old problem of if your normal summon was stuffed or they took care of something right there, your turn is pretty much stuck, so that doesn't help at all. The Xyz is progressive only in taking care of the field and not advantage or helping your damage output, and it needs to be destroyed by your opponent's card effect and sent to the graveyard to get its effect, and then it's just floating. It's not really progressing at that point. Our 1900 one is alright, but it only pops a monster, which is okay, and you still need to pop a Noble Arms card to do it, but then you draw a card, so you self-replace, you +1 once you take care of the monster. I can see this, like, forcing negates and stuff, but you still have to, like, for the other condition of the new card, summon the new card first, and then use this effect, so you have to commit to the board to not lose your normal summon and not lose the way to continue your turn, and then clear. Okay, cool, you're attacking directly. I don't think that's what this deck was necessarily concerned with, although I can see perhaps there being some upsides to Clarent. That's when an attack direct card is the card that I am most hopeful about, there's something wrong. Like, oh man. Oh. And you have to target with Custennin. You target that many cards. So, like, cards that have target immunity, or if Nightmare Goblin is out, that's gonna stop it. At least it returns. So, like, it bounces, like, extra deck monsters instead of, you know, dealing with them that way. But if they have any real hand traps that stop you, like... okay, my main takeaway from this is, not to sound too disappointed, Konami is going back into TCG exclusives that somewhat failed for their time and trying to give them new support. This first wave is certainly not something that I am personally excited about. I am personally let down by. I hope that Konami looks at the cards and makes something in the future that works with them to somewhat break them, but I don't see them progressing other cards that they potentially make. I feel like their ceiling is, besides Clarent perhaps, is capped. It just doesn't feel right. And it feels like they're almost purposely keeping it, you know, trying to keep it from being the best deck ever. They're not trying to give it that status. They're trying to keep a man down. You can't have your Knights of the Round Table and win with them too. That's what it's feeling like. And if they do this, what other past archetypes are they going to look at? Are they going to stare at UA and be like, you're next? Are they going to, look at other past TCG exclusive archetypes and actually do something with them? Because I don't want it to be like this. I don't. I really want it to be good. I want to be able to pick these cards up and actually beat a meta deck, and it still feels like this deck is going to have problems doing that. Although I suppose you could, depending on how they drew. It just doesn't feel right. This feels so wrong for the hype and the lead up, and I guess we did it to ourselves, right? Maybe a little bit. We were excited. We wanted it to be good. This is just noble disappointment for me. But what do you guys think? Am I overly harsh? Am I missing some combos straight out the gate? Is there a way that you would play Noble Knights that I haven't thought of with these off the top of my head? Because all of these seem very underwhelming to me. Just really underwhelming. That's all I can continue to think of. Like, I'm usually very open to deck building and very open to thoughts. Like, my favorite thing to do on my streams is the deck building challenges, and this just leaves me baffled on how they came to the answer of giving these effects to these cards and thinking that that's what the deck needed.